show that can match it. How to name another show that can match it. Everybody from classy to ratchet. Heat fans like Jamaal keep the flame alive. Dennis Lee got the lake show locked in 5 to Dub K to Augusta GA. Talk everything from NBA to anime. Chat like homies or debate like enemies. It's all fun and games, just match my energy. Just match my energy. Just match my energy. Yeah.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 51 of the Match My Energy podcast. It's your boy Dennis Lee, aka DINO Dennis.
It's your boy Jamaal, JC2 Bless. Man, it's an exciting one. Man, It's my boy Kyle is back on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? A long time listener, was a former coworker of mine. Now we best of bros, man. We have gone to a couple of basketball games. We hanged out a couple of times. I got acclimated to his dog, Milo, and it's, I'm not a big dog person, but Milo cool. What? He cool. So, but welcome to the pod. Kyle, man, introduce yourself, man. How you been, man?
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, my name's Kyle. Live in Atlanta. Met Jamaal a few years back. Good friends now. We always cut up on basketball, so I'm excited to be here today.
Yes, sir.
Another Celtics hater. So I'm so glad to chop it up about that. So
Yup.
Okay, man. Yeah, we got to start it off. We got a lot to get into today. So, well, let's start it off. Jamaal, how you been, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Like I said, still just working, of course. Haven't done any recent travels or anything. I went to Orlando for vacation like a couple weeks back. I don't think we touched on that. Yeah. So the Universal, Disney Springs out there.
What's up?
It was pretty good. It was pretty cool. I think we went at a time where it was kids going back to school, so it's kind of cool outside. Still not too many people, and then of course I got the fast passes. So I was like, it wasn't too bad. Drove down there, so it was a 6-hour drive. Got a rental. I put on my ID. It's like a grand. It's like I wanted a sporty luxury SUV, and of course at Augusta Airport is limited. So they was like, we went there. They was like, they had it as an option, but we don't offer those vehicles here. I was like, but I called yesterday, and you said
right.
It was one of those. So I was like, okay. So they said, well, we'll just give you the biggest package. And I was like, well, that's fine if I had a family of 10, but
right.
I was like, so yeah, it was a huge, it's called a Grand Wagoneer. It's a huge car.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Grand Wagoneer. Man,
that's luxury, though.
Dying for one of those.
I mean, it was nice. It's nice. It's like, the only thing is it's like super long, but I mean, that sport mode was going crazy on the highway. I was like, I don't know if somebody hit, like, I probably won't even feel it the way we moving, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, a lot of people talk about college football and the football's coming up, but I'm really just waiting on basketball to
for sure
start back. Sure. I mean, WNBA has been like really good right now, so that's kind of like I haven't been watching any games like that. Like I watch highlights or half, but I haven't sit down and be like, all right, started the game. I haven't got to that level with WNBA, but that's at least the news of that and those highlights is what's keeping my basketball, mindset going while waiting on basketball season to start NBA. So
now you watched that UFC match with Brittany Griner last night, getting suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Oh, she got another fight?
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty minor, honestly. I'm surprised she's suspended for the year, but I don't know.
I mean, they say that like
the ends, maybe
the end of the season is already here, so it's like
that's what I was saying. They maybe it's like it made it sound like it's always impacting, but it's like we only got a couple more games left.
That's true.
But what about y'all? How you been, Dennis?
Shoot, man. I'm gonna make it no matter what, but it's been, as y'all can see, I got a new little background. So I got a new office, new house. It's a whole lot of, we talked about that offline. That's a whole lot of, but it's cool though because the house is nice. I like it a whole lot. It's a lot better than the other one.
What's up?
2 full baths, 3 beds, got a deck out there, so
okay.
Fenced in backyard so Crypto can run around like he wants to. I'm running the front yard since he knows like not go nowhere. People be like, man, your dog is super well behaved. Okay. You know he ain't going nowhere.
I will give you that for sure.
Like he ain't going nowhere. But yeah, also, and most importantly, paperbacks, ebooks, all that of A Fractured Mind is out now. Man, I've been seeing a lot of people buy it. People tell me, man, yeah, I just want to support you, this and that. I'm like, hey, thank you. Thank you. First, I'm gonna start off by saying thank you guys for purchasing, supporting me and all that. But I want to hear what y'all think. Like, I want to hear, because this is it's weird and it's crazy to see like people really like people have bought something that came from my brain, like came from my imagination. I put it on paper and sold it to the world. Like, and it's just like, you know, I've heard some people be like, man, I hate this character and this and that. Like, yo, what's up with this dude? Like, man, I really feel bad for this guy. And I'm just like, hey, the fact that you like feel that way about it, y'all talking the same way they talking about Tariq on Power and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, you know, the fact that you like are that invested in the characters is pretty cool. So I just want to, you know, thank everybody, but I just want to keep hearing more. Keep telling me what you think. Talk about it with your friends, spread it around. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I got the sequel. The sequel, I'm working on that now. And my ADHD brain already has me working on like 3 or 4 different stories all at the same time. Like, I got a couple crazy ones already like halfway done. So yeah, thankful for everybody for that.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So. Yeah, I mean, I got the book. So my excuse is my girl. She's got the Kindle right now. I got the Kindle version. She's coming back from Nashville today, so I'll be reading it this week. I'll let you know what I think.
Okay.
Cool. We waiting for those paperbacks, bro. The paperbacks we need.
Yeah.
And
paperbacks
then also,
are coming.
Man, yeah, we definitely want to see you. You know what this turn into is going to be. You know, several series coming out. You try to do like a visualizer on it, or you know, some type of visual that goes with it. So it's more to come, I would say. But you know, for sure, that's something that's something glad that we.
I think this one could be like not that hard to shoot. It could be not that hard to shoot. I mean, there's a little bit of a sci-fi aspect, but most of it is kind of like, I mean, without giving too much away, like you probably don't need too much like special effects to simulate living in a simulation. So, I don't know. I think put something together. I mean, I was talking to one of my friends who said he has like a couple Hollywood execs and stuff like that, but I'm not about to try to hype that up. Like, y'all, it's coming, you know. You
do like a trailer. You could do like a trailer for the series. I've seen those as well. So,
bro, hop on that Shout on iPhone bandwagon, man. Get some marketing behind it. You know what I'm saying? Get that trailer.
True. You know what?
Also true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? But you be hearing
throwing it out there.
Oh, they just got like a big Hollywood, box office shot on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Like, there's word.
Yeah, what was that movie? 28 years later, I think.
Yeah.
It's coming out, and they said they shot it on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. A zombie movie shot on the iPhone. But yeah. I mean, that's what's really been going on. We got a big TV, so we've been playing Smash Brothers, me and my wife.
Yeah.
That's how we spend our wild weekends. Smash Bros.
Who do you main?
Man, I'm gonna get made fun of if I tell people. So, you know what? I'm gonna just say Bowser.
You got to.
For real, Bowser? Yo, you just want to go suicide off the side every time. I know how them Bowser players are.
Bowser, man, because he's the strongest one, and I'm like, man, I don't have time to play with y'all. But I've been like using him and who was it? Ryu a little bit, just because like, the nostalgia of that.
Bro, I use Lucas and Ness. So
I hate Ness. I don't know why. Like I just see that little kid face, and I'm just like, punch it.
You got a punchable face.
Man, I don't know how y'all played. I can never get into it. I'm one of those that I'll kill myself. Like, I'm the one falling off the map and be like, we ain't gotta worry about Jamaal. We ain't gotta worry about Jamaal. He gonna finish himself off. So I never really got into it. I think it's one of those, like, I got late to it. Later on in life, later on it, like after college, I started playing it. So it's one of those, like, Yeah, I just never got into it. So
I mean, we just keep playing it. I mean, we both suck. It's not like we like.
Yeah, me too.
I'm starting to learn the move. I'm starting to learn the moves. Really, you just button mash and try to.
It's a staying on the platform. That's the thing. I was like, it's tough.
Falling off. Like it's not like I'm like some expert or something. There's plenty of times where I'm like, okay, but it sucks because like somebody will hit you, and then like you'll hit them back, but then you'll fall down, and then they'll get the credit for you falling off. I'm like, nah, that was on me.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But man, and Carl, how have you been, man?
Man, I've been good. You know, started a new job a month ago. As Jamaal knows, it's been chill working remote. I love it.
Okay.
But you know, more recently this week, I went to Collecticon in Atlanta. It's one of those cons. It's the biggest for like, you know, like figurines and like trading cards and stuff. So Jamaal knows I display that stuff. I got that big side of me. So I got a couple nice finds yesterday. It was huge. It was at the Georgia Convention Center. I'll show y'all two pickups I'm happy for. I've been looking for a while. I got a Japanese PSA 6 Lugia. I ain't balling to get that PSA 10. Like, you know, they on display. People ain't reading that. PSA 6 is meant like the human eye can't tell the difference, man. So I'm happy with it. But the prized possession I got been looking for is a still in the wrapper Van Gogh Pikachu. This thing was launched in Paris, so it ain't open yet. So I gotta submit it to PSA, get it graded.
Oh wow!
Honestly, my collection just about complete. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get all the new stuff besides this Van Gogh. It's just like OGs, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited, man. It's just been doing that, just hanging out with my puppies, training them. You know, like I said, I got the 3-for-5 Popeyes 3 times this weekend. I'll be finding my new puppy in the trash can eating all the bones. So she might like Popeyes a little more than me, but besides that, just working on training so she don't do that.
Yeah. But tell us about the collect con. So do you bid on the card as well, or the people just have like set prices? You know, they
got set prices. Yes, they got set prices. It's just like going to a sneaker con, man. Like they got the prices, but if you get a couple, you know, that you can negotiate. You can just straight up negotiate, you know.
Gotcha.
They got like real fake authenticators there by PSA. They got a booth where you can submit stuff into PSA, which I was trying to do, but like the line was too long, you know.
Right.
And
sure.
They had a bunch of voice actors this year from the animes and stuff. Like they had Ash from Pokemon, of course, like people like baseball cards, like other stuff, you know, but of course Pokemon cards have been the biggest thing the past 5 years. But bro, they had the voice actors for Goku, Vegeta, Luffy from One Piece. Like I wanted to so bad. I went there at opening at 10 o'clock, man. The line, like it had to have been 500 some people per like DBZ character, you know? So I was just like, man, if it's a meet and greet, like a minute per person, bro, I'm not trying to wait in this line for 6 hours to say hi.
Right, just for you to tell them this long thing. Yo, man, when I was a kid, listen to man, move on, bro. Take the picture.
I heard that 499 times before. You know? So so it was cool just seeing him from a distance, my girl, she was taking the GRE yesterday at my place, so I just need to take the dogs out, drop them off somewhere, just buzz off for about 5 hours. So it was perfect, man. So I checked out every booth. You got some people cosplaying. That's not my type of stuff, but it's cool seeing it. It brings the vibe to the whole place. Yeah. So it was cool.
And I wonder how the basketball cards go, because I only got like
they had a little bit. They had like only like 2 booths maybe was basketball cards, and like honestly, I think like baseball cards is more the old timers. Yeah, and I feel like basketball cards is that new version of what baseball cards used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone be wanting these like Giannis rookie cards and stuff, and like Wemby. So I'm starting to see it. I haven't seen it before, but Collecticon is supposed to be the biggest collectible con in the world. So it makes sense. It was cool seeing it.
Yeah, I never got into the card game though. I'm not trying to get in. I can't. We have one hobby. That's all the thing we can.
No, I got Jordans too. I don't got displayed like you,
but I was like, I just never got into the card stuff. Like I think on eBay somebody had had bought like a Miami Heat T-shirt, and he said, "Hey, I had a set of the current roster Heat, and that's the only I think it's 21, 23, 21, 22 roster, and that's the only deck of cards I got." And I'm pretty sure it's like a cheap cheap card pack, but it's one of those. It's like I just never really got into the that side of collecting of things. But like figurines, I like Funko Pops and stuff like that. So I would have definitely. Other than that, I'm trying not to. Right now, I'm like tapped out. No more like collecting of anything right now.
Bro, that's what I said. That's what I said.
No. When you say you went, when you say you was going, I was like, yeah, you about to be. Cause that's a tough one. Cause like you waiting in line, it's tough to go to the cons and like don't come out with anything.
Yeah,
like,
no, you gotta get something.
Sometimes you have to pay to get in. You have to wait in line.
At least a T-shirt or something.
Yeah. You gotta get something. All
I'm saying is paycheck hit Friday, collect on Saturday. Just start my new job. The cash be flowing. Oh man, I might as well not have a job with what I was spending there, man. But
man,
good vibes though.
I know.
That's good.
Man, I tried to get into that. I really did. But it's just that when I was a kid,
it's a black hole. Don't do it.
Yeah,
when I was a kid and I collected all these cards, like right away, people were like, "Yo, I will pay you for this," and I'm 10 years old, so I'm sitting here like, I made $300 off one card. So like as a 10-year-old, I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Sold a whole bunch of other cards. Like I had this Charizard, and that's the one that like some kid's dad. I guess a kid told his dad about my collection that I had. I had this Charizard, and this like I had a yellow folder with a Pikachu on it and all that. It's like, and I had all my cards neatly. So I brought it to school. Some kid, it was like some white kid. He brought his dad, or he told his dad that I had this Charizard. This dude met me on my block at the bus stop. I'm like, boy, y'all brave. Because he wasn't it was before he moved to the suburbs. I'm like, he moved over here and I kept my friends with me and made the transaction. And I'm like, dang, man, $300 off this Pokemon card.
Yeah,
after I sold all those.
That's one of those. It's like, as a kid, you don't know. He's like, you made it easy 300, but it's like if you wouldn't pay 300, then somebody else out there is gonna be willing to pay.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Like, imagine an adult being like, "Yo, my kid's friend, let's go fleece him real quick at the bus stop." Like he gonna think 300 a lot.
Right.
Like, that's wild, man.
Flip that for whatever.
10-year-old is that's. For a 10-year-old, you should get that's basically $1 million. Like,
it is, but still,
man. Knowing if I would have just held on to that, if I would have just held on that to like right now at 33, that's like that card was probably crazy. that's that exact card.
Easy, quick flex.
Hey, who's your dad?
No, so bro, I had it ready, man. So if you
hey, who's your dad?
Close, I got it sealed still, bro. It never came out. But I had this since I was a kid. I did not get fleeced when I was a kid for 300. So I'm trying to.
I had like 300 plus cards. We moved houses. Back in college, I came back. I was like, do y'all remember those Pokemon cards? Because that's when the blood started coming back. My mom was like, why would we bring that over here? I was like,
no, bro, I moved so much.
Oh my goodness.
That's another thing too.
Right? So y'all moving, man.
And it was in a case. So she was like, well, we just didn't bring it over. I was like, what? Why?
Mother, that could buy us a house.
I have like a whole bunch of like toy cars that I also like. I was a collector like always, even when I was younger.
Never changed.
They brought all those broken cars, the actual toy cars. I was like, why y'all break these? We had some mint. Like those cars was like mint condition. I'm not sure we even value,
knowing what they have.
You don't know.
Parents don't be knowing, and then like because we moved a lot. And I had like old comic books. I love comic books. But I found, so like my parents were divorced. So like and we lived like my parents lived 2 hours away. So like on the way we found this like in this small town, Kansas. Like on the way, there was just like this collectibles place, and this lady didn't know what she had either. It was like all these comics on this table, and she was like quarter a comic. And I was like,
you say 11, a quarter
12.
on the cover, so I'll give it to you for a quarter.
Right. It's a quarter. Whatever it said way back then. And it was like, one that I had was this, it was that original Superman. That's why I'm a big Superman fan. It was the one where he's lifting up the car. That original one that everybody's talking about. It was just got that for a quarter, got like the death of Superman. Got that one. My mom was like, look, you got $1.25, get 5 comics. So I got those when I was a kid, and I get older and notice like, oh shoot, these is worth something.
Yep.
Lost it at one of them houses.
Dang.
I think it was like an apartment or something. Like Yeah.
That's how I go. I mean, the garage sales, those are good when you get them some steals for sure. Like people just outside.
Most people don't be knowing what they
yard
got.
sales is like, hey, my son was here, he had such and such, or my daughter was here and had such and such. I'm just trying to get everything out and be like, I'll give you $1 for everything. All right, 50 comics. And it's like, okay. I'm just trying to get it off. So, but yeah, man, that's dope. I'm definitely, I mean, especially for Atlanta, I think that's gonna be, I mean, a huge bed of a whole bunch of people who like a whole bunch of different things. So
yeah, it's
for sure
cool,
it's gonna
man.
be anytime there's a convention there or any type of event, it's always gonna be packed. And then it's also easier destination to travel into. So people's like, well, I'm going for the convention, but I can also do other things in Atlanta. So people will travel for those type of things as well. So but yeah, that's man. That's a good time. I'm gonna have to try to go to some type of con. I've never been to a con in Atlanta.
Bro, you know where to stay if you gotta come, man.
Yeah, I might have to look into what was available there. So, but man, let's shift gears. Yeah, let's do. You definitely need to. It should be something in Wichita as well. I think when I was there, I was interesting. I saw a few, and
I'm gonna try to do a big though. Me and my wife, we was talking about going to San Diego for Comic-Con.
The big one.
Oh. Well, shut my suggestion down. Okay.
That or Denver or something, but
now you go to San Diego, man. You about to okay. Yeah. That's a huge one.
So before we switch gears, real quick, we should have said it earlier. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share it in group chats. But anyways, so we've been seeing a lot of drama. We've been seeing a lot of drama on the news. First thing, as a Laker fan and Celtics hater, them Celtics getting into it, man. Well, I mean, we saw Derek White get into a fight at what was that, like a
swinging
football game or
something like that.
Oh, is it? It was like Colorado. I think it was Colorado. He was back at the old college.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, you have Derek White, then you got Jaylen Brown not being able to get picked up on the USA Olympic team.
Wow.
You got Tatum not playing minutes when he on the team, and then of course it just and then this happened. So it's like it's good. I mean, as a Celtics hater as well, I like this. As a realist in basketball, I'm kind of nervous for the league because now they have a chip on their shoulder going into like, hey, we've been did so many different angles. People done talked about us. We can get picked up for this team. We can get minutes. People think we can't repeat. Like the East is not as strong as people believe it to be, I think. So I think it can be scary hours for fans of basketball who don't like the Celtics, because I feel like now it's like this summer has been wild. Like all this happened in this one summer, which is technically our championship summer run. So it's like all this is happening on us. So it's kind of one of those where I'm like,
hey, y'all don't respect us. Y'all don't respect the champs.
It's gonna be tough. Like they're gonna come out super angry and like I don't know.
I don't know though, man. I feel like they've had a chip on their shoulder. Like they finally won. Don't get me wrong, but like they've been relevant since like 2017 season. Like even when they had Kyrie at first, it wasn't gelling, you know. So like they've had that chip going for 7 years. And now they won. So I don't know
even
if get more fuel
with Isaiah Thomas. Even when they had Isaiah Thomas,
like they kind of like, I hate to say it because y'all know I hate the Celtics too. When I first met Jamaal and it was like Heat versus Celtics and this stuff, I'm like, yo, come to my place. I ain't necessarily a Heat fan, but I hate the Celtics. So yeah, let's go Heat, you know. So
that's how we bonded for sure.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, get some Doc's chicken wings, you know. But anyway, but I hate to say this, but I kind of think of them as really similar to like the 99 to 07 Spurs minus all those championships in terms of window of how relevant they've been, you know. So they ain't winning like every other year like the Spurs did, and they ain't got Tim Duncan, but you know, they coming in their own. You know, Jaylen Brown definitely mad. Like he got snubbed for his teammate Derek White. So honestly, I think they're gonna be internally fighting a little bit. You know,
it's tough. I don't know if they're gonna be internally fighting. I think it's gonna be more of like, because it's still gonna give a nod. It's like, hey, I'm glad you was able to get picked up as well.
True.
Because it's more. It'd be different if it's like Derek White went around his back and went to the I don't know
right.
the committee and was like,
picked.
"Hey, can y'all pick me over?" If it was something like that, then I think it'd be more internal. But for sure, it's still gonna be like, "Dang, still my teammate." Like I gotta support him, but at the same time, I should have been there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the better player, arguably the best player on his team. I still kind of Tatum still, I don't know.
Like
But so yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think the relevancy is gonna be dwindling down here shortly though. I think after that 2-year mark, it's gonna because like Knicks looks good. Sixers, fuzzy. We can touch on them a little bit later on, but a little fuzzy. But I just see I don't know. They won the championship.
Who else y'all got in the East? Who else y'all got in the East that's like
just Giannis, bro. Giannis and who we got. But the thing is his cast is
it's really
like,
just those 4 teams.
They ain't as good anymore, you know. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to know.
That's very true. Very true.
Never mind. That might have changed my opinion right there, Mike. I'm saying, cause I'm like, at first I was like, well, you know, we have some teams going, you know, coming up and going to be a bit competitive, but I'm like, naming the teams now, it's looking like Celtics might have a run.
What's wild is like, I feel like Philly, they had it like, they got Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. We know that 1-2 punch don't work because they the poor man Kobe Shaq when they was like James Harden and Joel Embiid. But if they had James Harden still there, Maxey, and they was unselfish and they got Joel Embiid, they could have had a chance, man. Like they need a player like James Harden. I mean, I know he's getting older.
I mean, they picked up Paul George.
He good, but
like, I do like Paul George. And
it's not enough.
Question both. I guess we switching, but I guess I question both. Question both health, like for Embiid and Paul George. Both of them get hurt every year, so it's like when the playoffs come, they're gonna be in the same boat anyway.
That's what I was thinking. It's like it's gonna be that like. I mean, I guess you could say that like with the Clippers, which also involve Paul George. It's always a matter of, man, if they healthy, when they healthy together, like, you know, let's see what they'll, you know, and it's just like
they got the 2K squad. You winning in that game, you know?
Right. Only on video games, man. Yeah. It's like, oh man, if he's healthy, then, you know, but crypto's back. So yeah, no, it's definitely a whether or not, but since we know that like that's not going to happen, we know Joel Embiid's probably going to miss 20 games. We know Paul George will probably 25, 25, maybe 30. So how will that help? Will Tyrese Maxey be able to stay healthy and help them make it to the playoffs? Because if they make it to the playoffs, they should be okay. But
I don't know. Because every year they get to the playoffs, and it'd be like they can't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm like, y'all haven't made it to the Eastern Conference Final with Joel Embiid, MVP.
Like, has he been in the league a while now? Like, what's it been?
Right, because I'm like, now I'm like, to me, I'm like, do we think Embiid is who we think it is in the playoffs? Because I'm like, for sure, yes, he can't win every game himself. But I feel like if you're an MVP caliber person, you should be able to at least get your team to the Eastern Conference Finals with the lesser conference as well. Like, I mean, you know, Miami is tough, but we went there. Celtics been there. I think I'm not sure the Hawks went.
Hawks won 3 years ago.
Yeah, because they beat the Sixers. So I'm like, you got some other teams that was able to get there. I'm like, they ain't had the talent that you have. So I'm like,
and then we got to see how the rookies. The rookie from, you know, I ain't even gonna try to, you know, pronounce their last name right now, but the dude from the Hawks, you know, so we'll see.
Oh,
he had a bad summer league, but honestly, the summer league ain't really a telltale of who's gonna do what. You know, I know people like to, so and so played bad and this and that. It's summer league, bro.
Not gonna lie, the Hawks gonna have a down year, bro. Even if the rookie is good, it's like getting off on Murray, and it's like you guys really didn't rebuild anybody. Like, I think they're just gonna try to get their rookie.
Trae Young be talking like he want to leave every other day.
Trae Young definitely trying to leave. But I think they're trying to develop the rookie that they brought on, the French rookie. But and they probably use this year for that. And then try to see if they can get off on Trae Young is what I see them trying to do. It's like develop what you can while you have Trae Young as a true point guard, and then try to get off him, and then rebuild from there with the rookie.
Man, I think everyone at the deadline last year thought he was going to the Lakers, man. I think that's what the Lakers need. I think as a non-Lakers fan, I don't know, but
I could see that a good true point. Somebody throw the ball there.
Yo,
but
because the only thing he got in Atlanta, I've been to a bunch of games. I'm a fan of the Hawks, but I just go whenever you get them cheap last second tickets. Let me drive 20 minutes out to the stadium, But all he really had was them lobs to Capella and threes. The rest of the team wasn't going. Bogdanovich is nice, don't get me wrong, but he's just your average starter, and he's the second scorer next to Murray,
Yeah.
So he's just got a weak team. They ain't building around him. They gotta blow it up now.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to go to a game because hopefully tickets are cheaper because the Hawks ain't.
That's what I'm.
But a lot of people do want to see Trae Young. They still come to Trae Young. And then if you go to see another team, if you want to see the Lakers versus the Hawks, that's gonna be crazy anyway because of the opposing team. So you still gotta
go check out a Magic Hawk game or something.
If you're just there, that's why I say it's nice to be in a city where you have an NBA team when it's you just want to go.
See, I'm such a diehard Celtics hater that when I first moved here, I went to the Hawks Celtics game 6, just to watch the Celtics lose. And then I hated the Celtics more because they won. And Grant Williams, as Jamaal knows, for whatever reason, I hate that dude. I don't like him. And he was balling.
He has a very he feels unlikable. He feels I don't know what's wrong.
I hate him, man. I don't know. I have no idea. I tell Jamaal, I'm dude, I don't know I don't like him, but I understand the hate for people like Tatum and stuff. No, that guy on the bench, Grant Williams, I hate him. I'm glad. See, I'm a Hornets fan. So he came to the Hornets, which pissed me off. But knowing that he didn't win the ring with the Celtics made it okay for me. So I don't know. I'm a hater for. I can't help it.
That was sad though to see both your teams, the Mavs and Celtics, playing out. That is rough,
right? And you don't get neither of that.
I loved it, man. I was relishing.
I don't know, but he also has that demeanor where he's he wants to be a likable person, and of course we don't know this person personally, so we don't know. But he
can be super cool too.
He seems like he wants to be super nice and friendly, but when you get around him, he's I don't really care for you, man. It feels like that because even I think he had issues with Luka, but it seems teammate stuff also happens as well. I'm not saying it's an overarching thing, maybe, but of course, if you have issues with the star player, then.
But a lot of people say they be yo, he just talks too much. And I'm just damn, this all that. A lot of NBA players in the locker room, he just talks too much. He's annoying.
Yo, he kind of seemed that way.
That's crazy, man. I just don't like my voice. You don't like the. But I get it though.
I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you walk.
That's crazy. Cause I get it though. Because he probably one of the ones where you lose you lose a game to a buzzer beater. Y'all should have won. So you might be feeling the way in the locker room, kind of mad, taking your shoes off and stuff. And she's yeah, guys. So did you guys watch?
We'll go get it next time.
I'm pissed at myself and everybody. I get that. I'm talking too much. But yeah, man. So I guess as a Hornets fan, how do you see your team looking this year?
Bro, it's abysmal, man. It's tough. It's every year I get hope. We don't get the top pick in any lottery, right? We got LaMelo Ball 4 years ago, and his sophomore year, I'd say he was really good. He was really showing hey, I can be that new wave kind of Magic Johnson style guy,
Yeah.
Not saying he's Magic Johnson, right? But just that style of hey, I got the flash passes, I can lead the team. But man, it's tough because I don't really see him as a personality of a leader. So I hope that changes as he gets older. but we got Brandon Miller, who really showed himself. I think all Charlotte loves Brandon Miller, right? So it's like, if we can get that 1-2 punch, like, honestly, it sucks, but best case scenario, I see us be 500, sneak into the play-in maybe. Like, I don't know if we'll be successful. I hope I'm wrong, but it's like, man, I don't get my hopes up too much with the Hornets now, but it's
that's real. You're just gonna stick it out through the tough times.
No, man, it sucks because, like, I really became, I'd call a diehard NBA fan when I moved to Charlotte when I was 18. Like, I loved basketball since I was a kid, Like, I grew up watching, like, the Pacer games, like Reggie Miller and stuff. And, like, I ain't a Paul – that's why I'm not a Paul George hater, because I was like, okay, Indiana's, like, kind of my team, but I don't really care. I move around a lot, So I liked him growing up, but for whatever reason, I moved to Charlotte the year after they were 7-59. Worst team in NBA history, and I picked them as my team, which was the worst mistake of my life. But I ain't giving up on them now. Like, I'm, one day I'll be able to tell my grandkids, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We got Bronny the Third out there on the Hornets, and we just won our first chip in 2070. I'm like, I was a fan since 2012 when we were the crappy Bobcats.
That's what I'm saying. I think it is satisfying when you are a fan of a, long term, huge fan, and you actually win or see success, because it's like that passion for the game, is something else. It's like when the Kansas City won. I was in Wichita when Kansas City won.
It was cool for them when they won that first time.
Exactly, the first time, and it's like to see that was. Of course, I'm still not in football, but when I saw that, I was like, for people who's their hometown, been fans forever.
Dude, it felt good. It felt good in the city.
For sure. Homer, so it's like for sure knows. So it's like one of those, like, you just don't understand. But
I try to tell people, like, I remember I worked with a few people like who are from Kansas City when I lived in Charlotte, and they're like, like, we never win, like, we're always known for not quite making it, not being good enough. And now people are trying to be like, they're the new Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, nah, those fans ain't around for the past 30 years. Like, one back to back. You got an actually likable quarterback and, like, team, and it's like, nah, it's like y'all winning right now. It ain't 30 years ago, and they deserved it. So I ain't gelling with those comments comparing them to them Cowboy fans, because they can be annoying from like 95.
Every year we're America's team.
Now y'all are.
Yes, but but no, now the Chiefs are, man. And the thing is, like, I'm not really that big a football fan. But of course, like, playing it a little bit, I mean, and just knowing sports.
Like it, man.
Yeah, it's just, and it's cool just to feel that, like, in the city. Like, I mean, because I'm in Wichita, but that's our closest team, so. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool seeing that and being that, like you said, like, we was there when everybody was sucky, like when it was just like, I mean, we can go catch a Chiefs game real cheap or something like that.
Right.
And that's kind of, man, I feel like, I mean, I've been a Lakers fan my whole life, but I like watching the OKC Thunder because it's just like 2 hours away. And
right now, boy, man,
I also like going to go get the little cheap tickets. But now, price the brick going up, man. Like,
I see them top three, man.
No, I saw so I when I lived in Minneapolis, Chet played at Minnehaha, which was about 10 minutes away from where I live. So I've seen a game of him in high school from, like, man, I want to say it was 2017, 2018. I don't remember. Maybe it was 20. No, that don't sound right. No, so I lived in Minneapolis twice. So what was it, like, right around the pandemic, right? But no, he was nice, and he was nice in high school, and I'm happy to see him off the, rookie year injury and doing good, because I don't, like, no one expect them to win mid 50 games. Like, that was just wild, Like, he would have won rookie of the year almost any year besides, like, MJ, LeBron, Wemby. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a good year.
For sure.
It's unfortunate that, Wemby was in that. I mean, that's him that getting hurt, but it's like he definitely would have got it. The Thunder looks nice, man. I mean, we haven't talked about the West too much, but the Thunder looks nice. They picked up Hartenstein from the Knicks, the center. Yep. So it's like, man, like, the Thunder, the Kings, and Mavs, I had them in, like, that top 3, top 4 range. and it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be as smooth as people think, as like Mavs and Celtics rematch. Celtics, I do give them the edge of maybe going back in the East, but from the West, man, it's still like
it's a dog race, man.
It's gonna be at least 6 solidified teams that can be able to go all the way.
Dude, and that's the crazy part. One of the crazy part about the West is like, there's a lot of teams that's over there where like if we just like move them to the East, they become a top 5 team.
Yeah.
But they're over here, so now they're like 9th. Like that's crazy to me. That's like I would say. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Bro, that was the Warriors like the last year or so. You know what I'm saying? Like right above
the Warriors.
500.
Yeah, but they're like a 7, 8, 10 drop down. The Lakers
like
were
11
like
with the Lakers, bro.
11. Yeah. And so, yeah, no, that's scary, man. And thinking about that, like, still super early. I think we've talked about it a few different times, but we also want to hear your insight. Right now, let's pick the Eastern Conference Finals for both sides.
Man, I always go with Miami.
Okay.
Because I'm a big Spolster guy. You know, he's my Wasian brother, as Jamal knows. So I love him. But no, in all seriousness though, like he's proven himself as a really good coach. Like he's kind of proven, like when you think of like football, like college football coaches, like no matter who they got on their team recruit, they can always be like a legend. Like Saban, you know, don't matter LSU, Alabama, he's gonna put together the squad and the culture, you know. So the Heat culture is like, I feel like whether they actually make it or not, like they could be the 8th seed, they could be the play-in, like they ain't going away.
There's still a chance. There's still a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler is my favorite player because, like I said, when I grew up in Indiana and stuff, you know, you got like the Bulls and the Pacers people be liking, right? And he was like that young guy. So I've always followed Jimmy. So, but no, in terms of talent though, they always there. I think you can't discount the Celtics either. So, you know, it kind of seems like a repeat to me, but I gotta go Celtics Miami for Eastern Conference Finals. But if I had to pick someone who might get there, big question mark is Milwaukee because they're good, but I don't know who they've been retooling with. You know, like people like Chris Middleton are getting old, you know, and he doesn't have the bag. Yeah, they got Dame, but he's getting old too. I mean, he's got the right skill set for an old player, and now he's got a year to gel with him. But I just don't know. It's hard to say.
Man.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think for Eastern, I mean, for sure, I'm a homer with Miami. So I would love for them. It just this offseason, we didn't make any significant moves.
And I feel like little pieces. Little pieces.
We lost Caleb Martin to the Sixers, which is a huge piece. Is that small forward that always defends. He has a twin brother in the Hornets. And it's like, it's tough that we lost him and he took a pay cut basically to go to the Sixers. I don't know what
that's crazy.
The agent was doing, but
maybe he thought he had a better chance or something. Like
I think he was trying to get a bigger deal and then ended up, you know, I think Miami was off on the table. The offer was off on the table, something like that. But
probably.
But we lost people. I mean, Terry Rozier is going to be coming back healthier. So
Terry.
Hopefully he can actually do something. You know, he was on the Hornets. But I think my pick, man, I truly believe the Celtics is going to go on a tear. I think they're going to go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, that's hard to say, but I think they're going to go. But I really like the Knicks squad. The only thing is Tom and that roster have to get everybody minutes and everybody health on the same page. You cannot run them to the ground.
Overloading people. Yeah.
You can't run into the ground and get to the playoffs and be like, why are you injured? Why are you injured? Why are you not playing?
42-minute games, bro. Like all year.
Josh Hart and Brunson and that team not going to be able to. And then they also got to incorporate Randall. So there's a lot of question marks with that team as well because it's like Randall's can probably look at like, hey, y'all went to Villanova, but now I'm like, I was supposed to be like the main star in the Knicks, and then Brunson came and took that over from me when I got injured. So it's like, I don't know if he had that in his mindset, but
he has kind of like a slower game too.
Yeah,
I was saying he slowed the pace down.
He has like that mellow. He has that mellow type type of play. So that don't really work with their quick throw the ball around type of move. They know if they're throwing it there, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's tough though too,
I
because I feel Randall, since moving from LA to the Knicks, like he's changed elements of his game where he can gel with that type of play style. He ain't the best at it, right? But I think that's kind of why he's like he plays like a small Joel Embiid almost too. When he's in the post. But I agree, he plays most like Melo, right? But man, it's tough seeing him, because I feel like every year I think he's a likable dude, and I want to see him do good, but he ain't the leader of the squad anymore. Like y'all know, Brunson, New York loves him, and he just doesn't quite have the right skill set. So
yeah, and it sucks because it's like, how do you change that mindset? Because that's like to bring it up, Melo, when he ended up going to the Thunder, and they was like, bro, you might have to come off the bench, and he's like, me come off the bench, and it's like, but we know, dude, your legacy is solidified. You are him, but yes, you have to come off the bench for a Paul George, for Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was a fun team though.
Man, it was. We went and watched them, me and my dad.
I actually saw them as well. I went down when I was in Wichita.
Against the Knicks, actually.
I saw OKC versus Heat. It was one of the ways last year too. So got to see that. It was saw Melo, Chris Paul. So the first time. So yeah, that was a nice time. A 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. So
telling you, it's not bad.
I'm a Syracuse born guy, so I'm a huge Melo fan. Like, my uncle and his family are literally in the backyard of Syracuse University. My dad went to Syracuse, so we Melo fans up in this house, But
and what about you? Think his son gonna go there? You think his son gonna choose it?
I don't know, man. I think Melo's a good dude, and he is making sure his son, what's his name, Kian?
Yeah,
Cayenne, something like that.
Cayenne, yeah.
Cayenne, my bad. Yeah, Cayenne. Like, he seems like the good dad where it's like, man, I'm gonna make sure I teach my son everything I know, like what's in my bag, like what to do, how to act. But he's not like overbearing,
Right. So he said, go wherever you want to go. Like,
he mean it, I think, right? So he's like, Syracuse, we ain't got Boeheim anymore. Like, there's no reason to go up into the cold if you don't want to. Like, don't get me wrong, he'll get a lot of hype and attention if he goes to Syracuse, but he's probably better off going somewhere else.
Honestly, I forget to think about that. Like, also, like, even if it's a nice college, it's all that, it's still in the cold. So, like, if Florida wants me, if USC wants me, I'm gonna go be where it's warm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
No, like, when you got the campus visits, like, you start realize, like, okay, it's cold, but like, if you go to somewhere like Minneapolis, like University of Minnesota, for example, like, you got those outside tunnels the tunnels that connect the building, so you don't got to walk outside all the time.
Right.
Syracuse, it's a spread out campus. It's not like one little spot, and you got to walk everywhere, bus, drive everywhere, and it's cold. So, like, people realize that when they go on the campus visit, and they're like, all right, never mind. So that's why Syracuse gets a lot of top recruits to visit, but they don't stay.
Right. But then you also got to think, yes, I mean, the heated, tunnels and all that, but crypto. But
you've been battling with that door all day.
Man, you also got to think, 18-year-old kid, man on campus.
True.
What's going to look better at what college? You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you're at USC, nice sunny California, or UCLA or something, prospects probably look better at those colleges than they do all bundled up in Minnesota or
Right.
Hey, well, who was your East picks though, Dennis?
So my picks, man, honestly, I know we was talking about how it's going to be hard for them to figure it out, but I think they do. So I'm going to go Knicks, Celtics.
Okay.
I think it's going to be that. I noticed none of us said anything about the Pacers. So, like, we just don't believe in them, or?
I don't know.
Man, that's a good point. Honestly, I already forgot about it. Like,
I think they had a really good year.
Yeah, I don't mean that. I don't mean that hate either. It's just, I think Halliburton's good. I don't know with his type of game and, his craft of playing. I don't know how much better he statistically gets for carrying a team around the stat sheet with how he plays. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I like the dude, but I don't know if I feel like they peaked with their type of roster when I think
honestly,
about it.
I think they figured him out. I think the rest of the league figured him out. It's kind of like, and yes, it was a lot longer and had a better impact, but I think he had like a Jeremy Lin type run.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh man, Cole, man, how do we stop it? All right, we figured you out. Now what? He got exposed in the playoffs, honestly. He got it. I mean, of course, he didn't. He's another player that didn't get any clock in the Olympics. But yeah, man, honestly,
he looked super happy too. I was like, I'm not like, I understand you happy to be there, but he looked way too happy. Like,
no, for sure. I think he knows that like I'm still a young player.
You ain't got to smile.
I think he's like, I'm a young. You know, he'll be back. He'll get another shot. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm young. Same way, Christian Laettner didn't get no clock, you know, back when, you know what I'm saying? They know, okay, I'll be back and all, you know. Yeah, he wasn't like the main player on the team. But, you know, I got them out the East. I'll start the West. Honestly, you know who I want to say. You know,
I would say they didn't make changes either now.
But we got LeBron, you know what I'm saying? And Bronny, you know. What better chemistry is father and son? Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Yeah. So no, in all honesty, and with no bias, I would probably go, and honestly, okay. OKC, Mavs. Only because we saw who's been leading the past couple of years, but I think it's kind of people have figured them out as well. Both the Wolves and the Nuggets. I think we kind of figuring them out. Like, yes, Jokic is going to be a beast of a player until he decides he doesn't want to play no more. But if you can find a way to contain everybody else or even get a couple people on him, I think you can somewhat stop him. Not like completely like he only gets 9 points. I think he still gets his triple doubles, but just because that's on the stat sheet doesn't mean that it comes out in a W. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I could see them getting stopped. So yeah. But either way, man, I don't know. Like, I feel like whoever we about to say, it's very possible.
Yeah. Bro, how you feel about Clay being on the Mavs? Like, what do you think he's gonna do? Because I don't know how to feel.
Honestly, I think this is a new area for him. Like, so, and it's a new position, and it takes a lot of the pressure off. Now I don't have to be splash brother. Like, bro, he gets to be a 3-and-D guy, which is what he should have been anyway.
Right.
I think he's just gonna be a 3 guy, bro.
They be saying like
I don't think his defense ain't gonna
be. Yeah.
I don't know if it's there anymore, but
at least let him be corner 3 man. Let him be like the Nick Young, but
yeah,
he can actually hit that thing. Well, hopefully now, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's a more mental thing. You know, going over. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is wild. But he should be a better shooter than Tim Hardaway, though. He should be a better pickup who he replaced. But
yeah,
I think I like it. I think they have to really mesh well. I think you can't take a year to adapt to the situation. It's like you have to do it now in training camp and beginning of preseason. Like, this has to be work now, because the way the Mavs look going to my picks, I like the Mavs going to the Western Conference Finals as well. They look like they just was really missing a piece. Luke was hurt. He was hurt the entire or hampered the entire playoff run. So it's like, if he can stay, which is tough because it takes so much of the load. So it's like, we might look at it like an NBA person, like he might be injured every time in the playoffs just because of his load he has to take. But I like the Mavs, even with the Clay pickup. I think it will work out if they really choose to put him in the corner. Even if it's as a decoy, like, as long as he's on the court, like, you always have to have an eye or body next to him. It's not gonna be one of those like okay,
You
he gonna
can't
have an
double
off
team
game
Kyrie
if he gonna miss the
Luka
first
now.
two or something like that. So if he missed the first two, he got off games. And nah, he might hit the last, buzzer beater or something like that still. So, but the Mavs, I'm trying to see. I do like the Thunder. I really like how they came out, but I might sneak in. I might go different and try to sneak in the Kings this year with DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
I think they may have enough to get over the hump. So it might be like a Thunder run they had last year. Had the Thunder had their run last year, this might be the Kings run this time for Eastern Conference Finals.
Bro, I think DeRozan complements their guards perfectly.
Yeah,
like he's
sure.
like the missing piece. Like he doesn't have to be necessarily second or third team All NBA DeRozan, but if he's like All-Star level, like lower All-Star level, I think that's all they need to help him get over the hump. You might be right.
Yeah. I think they'll mesh well. Like I said, he still have youthfulness to him, so he don't have to slow the pace way down. He does shoot a lot of mid range and a lot of like half court sets. So I have to see because that King team they run and gun a lot, especially with Fox. So we'll have to see how that pace, if they can manage that pace. But they got a good team as well. So I'm gonna go right now. Early predictions, for sure. It's Kings and Mavs, West Finals. So, who you got, Kyle?
Man, y'all ain't gonna agree with me, but I actually got the Timberwolves Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
So listen. I hear everything y'all saying. Like
I'm not mad at that.
I like it as well.
I gotta explain myself. All right. So I think Cat has been able to finally play the way that he wants to play because it's been so odd seeing your 7-foot center who's like a non-aggressive personality, not just take it to the hole like Joel Embiid, And you see him before Ant really came in, like getting a lot of threes as well and stuff too. So I've been to a bunch of games. I've probably been to 30 T-Wolves games the past 6 years. And I feel they built around Cat, even though he's not the man of the squad. Everyone knows it's Ant, right? They were able to build around Cat because they got Gobert, who is like costs way too much, but he can plant himself under the rim and be 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. They can twin tower it with him. They can push him out to the 3 mid-range. And then you got Anthony Davis, running Anthony Edwards running the show, right? So I feel they still young enough and Ant still got a little bit more of showing what his ceiling is. So for that reason, I feel like they're a different team than how everyone else is built. Like for example, Denver Nuggets, when they've been winning, like they're a different team. Like, anyone's different with Jokic, right? But just having him and Murray, they're not your typical Golden State style 2016 team that's like a new rendition these days, right? So I feel like that difference for them is going to allow them to have some matchups that are different, but it's hard to say. So that's who I got in the first team. The second team's kind of tough. There's a lot of ways you can go. I was thinking the Kings, but I can't just copy on Jamal here. So I got a different dark horse team.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go with the Memphis Grizzlies. I like them.
Ja's back. Ja's healthy.
So I love Ja. I think, I pulled up their roster real quick just to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Right? But just looking at the rundown. Looking at the rundown, they got Ja Morant. They got an aged Derrick Rose teaching him the ways. You know what I'm saying? Teaching him how to be smart with him. So I think that's really important because Ja's shown that he's the man on the court. He's going to learn more about Derrick Rose's bag and stay humble, Y'all got Marcus Smart at the shooting guard. Y'all got T-Rex arm Desmond Bane. I don't care too much about him. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is like another defensive guy. I just think there's so much offensive talent these days that I think defense is going to become a little bit more important with those people like Anthony Davis, Wemby, Jaren Jackson Jr., you know what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert. And then, honestly, my other Asian brethren at center, I'm telling y'all, Zach Edey. When you got
I forgot. How about that pickup?
I know it's summer league. It's different.
I was about to say I'm not really sold on you just yet.
Him and Him in the
and
tournament.
John the pick and roll, and Jaren rolling out and getting the mid ranges and stuff. I think we gonna have a different version of the pick and roll this year, and they gonna surprise some people. So that's kind of like a
hey, that's a good pick. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good pick. If that happens, that would be a nice Western Finals matchup to look into. Zach Edey.
So nobody's going with the Spurs. Nobody's going with the Spurs.
Not yet. I was thinking
Hell no.
They close, but
Wemby, Chris Paul.
No, we can only see so many lives. It's not gonna go to the Western Conference Finals.
Whenever Chris Paul goes to a team, everyone goes, and rightfully so, yo, they making the finals this year. It never happens. I'm finally quitting. He's 40. Like I'm not saying that anymore.
Sure.
Like,
this will be.
I don't see finals, but I can see them making the playoffs though. I can see them making the playoffs.
No, they'll be good. They'll be good. Yeah.
Okay, by good, playing, I still see it playing. They still gonna be fighting to get in.
Okay. By a good team that is coming from a Hornets guy, okay? They're gonna be above 500. That's what I mean. I'm talking like 43 to 45 wins.
I mean, they was like last one or two. So I definitely see a really big improvement, and you're actually gonna have Wemby being able to have a person that passes him the ball.
No, Wemby might get like 40 a game now because
it's so many
open Wemby fast.
Dude, man, how you have a 7'5"
fast breaks when he's running down the court and he's like,
they leave him open.
He's like waiting for it, and he's like, okay. I'm like, to me, I was like, I'm getting 10 assists a night. I was like, for sure, easy. Just
why not
drop it in there?
Trying to get yours too on this young team. Be like, yo, whatever, I don't care. I'm a rookie too, or I'm a second-year player too. I would have got like 20 assists a game. I would have made some crazy astronomical numbers because you literally just got to throw it up.
Bro, if Trae Young and Clint Capella can do that shit, I'm sorry, I don't know if we can cuss on this, but if y'all can do that stuff every time, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a better version of it, you know? Yeah. So I think you're right.
Ooh, they was tripping. I think it was an ego thing there, and I think it kind of messes with Greg Popovich's legacy a little bit. Because it's like, as a coach, you got to wrangle that. You got to tell, hey, there is no egos on this team. I get it. You trying to get yours, you're trying to get yours. But we are looking like a sucky team. And the Spurs before this was like, at least in the playoffs every year for like 20 years. And I get that a bunch of young, kind of weak guys, but y'all could have did something with that dude. With that one dude, y'all could at least made play in.
I've been saying it for the longest, man. Pop should have been out of the head coaching round for like 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
The Spurs, I do understand, like, hey, this is the talent I have. I can't make, superstars out of people, but it's like, I think because he had so much success with Tim Duncan and all these other stars and stuff like that, and he just kept his same prestige up high. It's like, hell, he's still a head coach. He's still one of the best head coach. No, he's not. I was like, his team has not been in the playoffs for how long? He can't keep saying he was. He
could almost tarnish your legacy.
But you can't keep saying, last year, Pop still regarded as one of the. I was like, how? So I'm like, did he stay? He was like retired like 2-3 years ago, and then of course they had the opportunity to get number one. So he's like, I'm staying. Wemby was gonna be the number one. So for sure I think he signed on for like another 4 or 5 years, which is crazy.
Bro, he could have took a different role. He could have took like a GM or advisory.
But it's one of those
role, something
with Wemby
like a Brad Stevens move or something,
But with Wemby being just as great as he was, like, it's not as much coaching things that you need to do for him to unlock that greatness. So if you want to take, like, if Wemby just went crazy, you want to take accountability and be like, hey, outside looking in, Wemby might have done this on his own, but people would have gave that recognition to Pop. So if I was Pop, I would have still stayed as a head coach because of that Wemby. But it doesn't make sense to me that they didn't want to get like a newer coach, a younger talent to grow or establish with Wemby, because now it's like, okay, he had Tim Duncan, but like Tim Duncan, what's the other guy? The other center. I can't think of his
David
name.
Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. I was like, you had all these great centers, and now they're like, well, you not have another center that you can. I was like, that's a 20 years ago centers. It's like a whole different league. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The game is different. The way we look at centers now compared to back then.
I would have liked if they had like the Houston Rockets coach. I think he was eligible to be a coach for the Spurs at that time when he was talking about retiring, all that kind of stuff. Somebody like that, because that Missoula is it Missoula? Can't remember now. It's Coach Missoula, I think. But he pretty much that Houston Rockets coach now is the one who got the Celtics to that major run.
Yeah, because Missoula's the
Celtics.
Yeah, I think he was the assistant. I thought he was assistant on the Rockets. I don't remember though.
Oh.
Whoever had the scandal.
It was a different head coach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Nia Long's ex. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot let me see.
I think kind of going off what you're saying, I think the only way the Spurs win with Popovich as a coach is if they go a little bit. Hey, that too. Yeah.
I think he would.
I think it's going to give a little bit of like 04 Lakers vibe, so it might not work. But if like with the Clippers kind of breaking apart and stuff, and maybe I think Kawhi likes to stay home, but if they got a homecoming for Kawhi and bring someone like DeRozan back and people who know Popovich in the system, they a little old, not quite like, Malone and Payton old like the 04 Lakers. But I think if you got those kind of guys, I think there's a possibility. Like I said, they might be old, but they know the system, and Pop is how he plays 2014 basketball.
That's a interesting take. I don't see DeRozan going back to the Spurs.
No, I don't see it either. I'm just saying I think that's what it'll take.
Kawhi, I don't know.
He got a new stadium, and he's from LA, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, either, Kawhi, that guy, and it's like even if he gets hurt or not, like they still paying him. They know he's like the main superstar for the Clippers now, especially with Paul George leaving. So he's kind of got it made for expectations and money wise. It's like he won another ring, but he seemed that the attitude where it's like, I got my two. I actually led a team to the finals and won. So I'm like, I'm really that dude in his head. So so it ain't like I have to do this again with the Clippers. It would be nice. I mean, you would go down in history, but it was one of those like
giving them their first ring. Now, and on top of that, I think that Kawhi wouldn't ever go back only because of the way he was treated. I mean, they've talked about how like they wouldn't let him heal up the right way. Yeah, the injury, they wouldn't take him serious. He was having to go to like outside doctors and So I think that bridge is probably burnt. Yeah.
You're right. It's just the fan in me, you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. LeBron, like on 2K.
Mini
2K
mini
roster.
LeBron homecoming,
Yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah. Man, we've been talking for a little bit. I've been wanting to kind of switch gears a little bit because my brain has been broke all week trying to quantify 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Do you?
Bro, direct from manufacturer, man. Like you ain't going to the stores as a person getting that. You ain't Uber Eatsing it to the house, like
warehouse style.
All right. Think about this. So I was talking to my one of my clients. His parents own like 3 gas stations here. I asked him because I was trying to put it together. So think about any gas stations that y'all went into, and all the coolers with all the drinks in there. I asked him like, so how much is that? Like all the bottles and the cans and stuff in there. He was like, including the ones that are in the back right behind it, about 500. So double that. My brain broke. They on a jump start, like the bigger ones too. Like
it's wild, and then it's like so many different posts and memes talking about like, do you know how long it takes to even go through one bottle of baby oil? It's not something like.
You tell me, Jamal.
Like I think about,
I don't know how long it takes, but what
I ain't never really seen the bottom of one before, man. I know,
right?
I don't know if I've ever seen an empty bottle of baby oil ever.
So it's
like it is. Like what you do? I don't know. Like sometimes, like you start to think, like when you start asking these questions, you start thinking, like, do I want to know the answer? Sometimes, like.
Yeah.
Do I want my brain to be that messed up later? Like some stuff you can't unknow.
Yeah.
But if you're going through, because also here's the thing. This is what they found in his house now. He's been on the run, not on the run, but he's been like, people ain't been trying to go to Diddy parties. People been kind of distancing themselves from him. So on the off night, you got 1,000. I don't know.
Yeah. At that location, I was like, he probably.
Yeah, what about in New York? You know what I'm saying?
So many other locations, he probably got so much stuff, man.
Right. He had 3 houses. Like, what's the LA house look like? What's the,
Well, he probably got to store it at somebody else's houses. Like, hey, man,
Man,
keep that there for me. When I come over, I need this.
What about his warehouse? What about his warehouse? You know what I'm saying?
It's like an endless cycle, man, of type of things. That's why I was like, when this came out, I was wondering like how many celebrities and people who get caught up like may, be affected or be caught or found out because of this stuff. Because it's like, for sure, y'all, like everybody.
He wasn't doing it by himself.
A lot of celebrities they do a little podcast episode or a different talk show, and they're saying like, "Hey, we all know about the Diddy party." Early. But exactly, everybody left.
Everybody left early. Okay,
but everybody know what the party is about. But I was like, okay, so
I don't care if we're supposed to cancel him or not. If Diddy come out with a book, I'm buying it.
Yo,
He's gonna be like, all right, y'all didn't care about me. Put your name here, Will Smith.
No, if he gets a long time sentence, which it looks like it will go down that path with all the evidence kind of piling up.
Because on top of the baby oil, they found guns, drugs. They found, you know what I'm saying?
While in prison, like it's gonna be a whole bunch of like things he's just gonna release. He's gonna be like, well, y'all talk about me, but you need to look at such and such. He or she was there with me doing whatever.
Bro, I mean, they had so I don't know much about law. Like I know like the average guy, right? Yeah. But when you start reading the charge and be like, yo, this is what racketeering is, I honestly didn't know what that was. So I'm like, all right, what's racketeering really, So it's pretty much like mingling the business with his bad stuff and getting
criminal enterprise.
Criminal activity, right? So
that's the stuff they give like the mafia. That's like mafia bosses.
It's usually like a mafia. So I'm like, all right, so how he mafia? Let me look this up, right? So it's just knowing if it comes from a federal indictment and you don't get bail or bond, that means they know for a fact and a reasonable jury that looked at it beforehand goes, this dude he's 100% guilty based on the evidence. So if they got that type of racketeering charge on him, they already got guaranteed names that are coming down. So,
informants that's been around for years on years. When they talk about like even the Young Thug stuff, when they got them with the RICO and all that, they had them like they watched them and let them get away with so many crimes so that they build a case. So they're like, hey, I know you think you're gonna beat this, but we were watching you commit crimes for the last 10 years at least.
Right.
So it's like we've seen them do it, we let them get away with it because we're like, this one isn't big enough. No, we need to wait because we need to make sure that they say is like a 98 conviction rate when the feds are involved.
Yeah.
98%. So it's like it ain't we don't know.
We know, we just don't know how much time you about to serve is really what.
Right.
Bro, it would have been a 50 million bail, man. If the government ain't taking 50 mil, like
his offer, like he was like, I'm giving up my passport, I'm giving my mom's passport, my kid's passport, 50 million, all these other things, and it's like a lot of people saying for sure they was gonna give him bail after giving him all that. Or the forthcoming, but to them it's one of those like, if you give it all this, we know for sure
he did something real bad.
For sure. They was like, we can have me GPS tracked. I won't have any visitors come by. I was like, man, if they did not,
they said nah, not even the 1-year-old baby.
They denied it twice. So I was like, it's done, man. It's crazy, and it's tough because we've been hearing the jokes about this like for years. It's kind of feeling like the R. Kelly case a little bit as well, where we was like, we know about it, we saw the evidence about stuff like that, and then it took all these memes and jokes and things to come back out it, and then all of a sudden the resurgence of it came again, and it's like we've been hearing these jokes and stuff about his Diddy party,
and these real stories.
Party. Yeah,
and not even just the jokes. Like people are coming out and talking about certain things, like Shine. His artist that he had like way back in the day, like right after Biggie died or around that area. They said someone shot this woman in the face and for some reason they put it on Shine. And then the woman who was shot in the face, she lived, and she was like, "No, Diddy, Puff Daddy shot me in the face."
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they let him still stay out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they've been building this case up for like 30 years, you know, like even with Tupac. Everybody's saying like, yeah, man, he put the hit out on Tupac. So why didn't he go to jail for that? So it's like they just building on, they want this man to like rot in prison.
And then it's one of those things like it's I kind of call it like public I don't know, public infliction of like how people feel about that person at the time.
No,
when
for
Cassie
sure.
When that Cassie video came and released, this kind of, I mean, for sure they already had a case building up. It's not like that started the investigation.
Well, a lot of people were,
but the public
giving them bail.
That public opinion started, and it's like a snowball effect. And it's like that came, and it was like boom, boom. Like months later, I was like, that just spiraled out of control after that release. And that video, you know, the judge is talking about the video now, even though the way I'm looking, they're not including the video as part of the case, but it's on everybody's mind when they see it.
What juror hasn't seen it now? What juror won't have seen that? Right. And they leaked so Kim Porter, which is a few of his kids' moms and his longtime girlfriend, before she mysteriously died. She was like young and healthy, but like she got sick out of nowhere and died. That's a whole other thing that people are talking about that he may have had something to do with. But like she was working on a book and didn't get to finish it. Yeah. And so she had like this whole diary and all that. So that recently leaked as well, talking about his abuse and all this type of stuff. So it's like,
oh wow, I didn't see that.
Even if it's not used in court, that court of public opinion that you're talking about, that's playing on people. So I think those were strategic moves as well. Like, okay, even if we can't use this, we want to paint the picture of how big a monster he is.
Yeah.
Because before everybody was shooting him bail and they all this like, well, man, y'all all so quick to do this to the black man and you know, so then people could use those angles at first. Right. And no, because this guy, Harvey Weinstein, or all these other names, just like, okay, but sure, maybe. And then they also talked about how his mentors did certain things to him. Sure. Yeah. I'll let that be a reason. It's not an excuse though. You know,
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's like it explains why he might have become the way he is, but he's still got to be the man to not do it. Because you're right. It's like at first it seemed like people were trying to shoot him down. There's like all these conspiracies and things. And yeah, I'm never saying he's a great guy, right? But he's a successful man who came from nothing.
Right.
Like, he was well educated, talented, but then he became this type of man who does these horrific things behind the scenes, like a little bit of Epstein style, you know? So
for sure.
All right. And that's what I'm like, it's one of those, I'm still like caught up on the people who saw these things. Like if you on, like they talk about he got all these tapes. If somebody's filmed, but they're not,
they said he had the camera constantly rolling at his house. So
but I'm saying if you are a celebrity or somebody of influence and you just there, you just watched and they report it, like how much of that can you, I don't know, how can they, you know what I mean? It's like you're a witness. Yeah. You know,
like, what was the threat on their life too? You know what I'm saying? Like that's gotta be tough. Like let's say you saw something, but like so let's go on a limb here. Let's say Will Smith did nothing. I'm not saying he did anything, right? Like I know he's one of the names out there, but like, let's say he did nothing. Let's say he witnessed stuff, right? And you don't report it. Like I wonder what the threats were against him. Like you're gonna lose everything. You know, you gonna die. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna end up like
not even just that. Not even just that, but they could be on some like, hey, we know you've seen this stuff. We know you know this and this. Because you holding it down, here's Independence Day. Here's Bad Boys. Here's, what I'm saying? Here's Big Willie style or whatever, you know, so his whole...
Right.
So now it's like, it shows, maybe you may not have done anything, but you were complicit in getting the things that, you know, with that. And so that could go for a lot of the different people, not even just bad boy artists, but whoever was trying to go to these parties, whoever was throwing them, whoever, you know.
True.
And so now these names and these, because these tapes will be released. So you're going to see, you're going to probably see some people engaging. You're going to see some people that's just watching. Even if you was like, okay, what did you about me? But you didn't tell. You didn't tell. Of course, no snitching and this and that. But like, there's a line there, bro. Like snitching is a whole other thing. If us three went and robbed a bank together, and then I told on y'all, even though we all got away with it, that's snitching.
Right.
If I catch y'all doing something wrong and I have nothing to do with it, it's not snitching. That's reporting. That's so
that's what I'm saying. It's like
too many people were complicit until it wasn't time. And a lot of people are very quiet right now.
That's exactly. You know how many photos and different engagements and things that people have done publicly with P. Diddy, but now nobody has like been outraged, like, hey, you guys got
delete all the pictures and evidence, bro. That's what they're doing right now.
So many people unfollowing him on Twitter and Instagram. I was like, well, I mean, we know you've been following him for 20 plus years. Like, what is that? A month ago, you unfollowed him. Like, what is that going to do for us? The only person I've seen outraged was Boosie. I've seen that.
Soldier Boy too. Like, man, if I be calling out kicking,
Yeah, I was like, this ain't the time to offer support. I'm sorry. You got it. You can't. Not publicly. Nobody's doing anything publicly.
Only Boosie and Soldier will be talking like this right now. Like, man, if I was there, I'd be doing this. Yo, they sick.
He was like, we all,
or even that when Boosie said that, when he was like, yo, human trafficking.
All celebrities do this. We all fly them out. How you think we get into the party? I was like, hey, you putting yourself right in the case. Like, what are you trying to do?
Maybe you don't say that right now. Maybe we all pay for a little.
They're gonna be like, we call Boosie as a witness because he got a lot to say.
Bro, what about Cat Williams is looking like a prophet right now.
Man, that resurfacing again now.
Bro, I like Cat. So I sound like I'm an OG Cat fan, but like he was one of those first comedians. Like him and Chappelle were the two guys I listened to growing up when my parents didn't know I was watching TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So like those two, and then it's crazy to say this, but Kanye's been right. Like he doesn't always present himself in the right way and say it. But I feel like some of these tapes been resurfacing and like coded words. It's interesting. Yeah. Like I wonder what Kanye knows, So just because everyone knows he's a little freaky too. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder.
He'll probably crash his whole industry if Kanye releasing anything.
Did you see that one? It was like an old video of like Lil Wayne sitting next to Diddy, and it was like, so what would you say to the young people out there trying to like be where you are? And Lil Wayne was like, you got to be careful of those people Diddy bopping through everywhere and trying to be in your face. I was like, oh shoot. Like he made it sound like that was just like a term that people use, but also be careful for them Diddy bopping.
But there's been so many people that's like sending warnings and shots that we actually knew about it, and then now they're resurfacing, and it's like,
now you're really thinking about it,
Yeah.
Also, why were they so afraid to like why did y'all have to talk in code? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be careful for that.
I think he just had so much power. He said so much power and influence, bro. It's like one of those like he might not attack you directly, but your people and like people in the industry, like I feel like he had so much influence. Different.
I mean, people was coming up dead. Man. Everybody that was close to him. Everyone that was Andre Harrell, one of his close friends, and his one of his mentors that possibly did the same things to him. He died suddenly a couple years ago out of nowhere. And it was a lot of people that were making like tell-all or like memoir books.
Right, writing a book.
They could. Yeah,
I'm glad Cassie ain't getting hurt though, because the rumors are she was writing a book and was telling Diddy like, "Hey, if you pay me off, maybe I won't release it." I don't know how true that is, right? But she's another person for sure that we know was doing a tell-all, right? So I'm glad that she's safe right now because she's kind of like not the first whistleblower, but the first one to get like major traction. Like it was smart of her to make a civil lawsuit because, I don't know how the statutory stuff works and the timing, but that's what gets it out there, So I'm glad she ain't get a hit out on her because she seems to be like a main victim here.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, 50 Cent. He's coming out with a docuseries, or already came out with one with the Diddy. I don't know what the name of it is, but I'm like, I wonder what that's gonna be like. Because I'm like,
Dude.
you say you have evidence and stuff like that, but you're gonna put it in a docuseries. I'm like, how is the? I don't know. I know he's a troll master, but it's like,
dude, I think it has to do with
this?
that. Like Dennis was saying, like public opinion, man. Like he's got stuff to say, and it's like he's not going to speak in code. So all I'm saying is, if this works pretty well and people watch it, he's going to do the second one on Ja Rule. You know, he's going to bring that beat back.
Right, man. Yeah, talk about Murder Inc. and all that. This dude is. That's what happens when you're like a super petty dude.
Yeah,
but you also have way too much money, and you got these connections. Look, I basically run the Stars network, so now I can put whatever I want on here. I could go take this to it. Like, y'all know that I'm good at making TV shows, whether they're real life or fiction. So I can make a show about whatever I want. Guess what? I hate you. And because I hate you, I can ask whoever to play you. It's so crazy. And so a docuseries, get everybody to talk about it. And the thing is, he doesn't talk in code. Like you said, he's going to say,
straightforward.
Told everybody he's a nasty man. Told everybody. Like when he went on the Breakfast Club, he was like, man, he wanted to take me shopping. Now, what grown man will take another girl?
Bro, and that's one of those
wild.
things where it's like, all right, that's kind of like, pause, Diddy moment, but it's like, I didn't think like, all right, maybe he's just like that. I don't know. But then when I look back now, it's like, oh my God, like with all these charges coming out, it's like, that's crazy.
Well, because I don't understand. Yeah, because then, all right. If we all millionaires, like multi, what do I need Jamaal to go take me on a shopping spree for?
Right.
Exactly. If we all
want that Birkin bag, I know Jamaal.
It's like, bro, I already have the money to do. No. I want to hold my hand around your shoulders and be like, yeah, you look good in that. Like, bro, you don't need to.
Right.
I can buy what I want to buy. But then it's ironic when you see there's a picture of him and Meek Mill at like a party and they had like matching shirts on. So it's like, oh, so he took him shopping.
Yeah.
Some people actually took that shopping spree though.
Yeah. Well, if you don't got the money, so if you're a French Montana or MGK, or I'm trying to think of like newer people that was on back or whatever.
Right.
Like he'll be like, yo, I gotta take, and he might even not even make it sound cool. Like he'll make it sound like it's something he has to do, like as your label head. Hey, we got to get your wardrobe up. Got this. This will look good on you, daddy.
I'm going to have to do.
I like that, daddy.
Right?
Yeah, when he started saying stuff like that, I was like, that's already questionable already. Like,
yeah. I only called one person in my life daddy. That's it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, my real father, is that?
Yeah, now
he's the only one.
Dad, you know what I'm saying?
Right? Hey, father.
Father.
Yeah, he's always been questionable, man.
Yeah, I don't know. So
we shall see how this goes, man.
I'm glad I'm a regular person, man. I'm glad I'm just.
I don't know.
My life ain't so bad. I'm cool with how much I make now. Like,
man, it was funny because so the dude that Greg, the hitman, he's like the main guy for the #1 hip hop and R&B station here. He's the one who was like, hey man, I could get your stuff on, to some of my Hollywood exec friends and stuff. So I was like, okay, that'd be cool, for your book. And then I started thinking, what I gotta do? Like, what if it's perfect?
It's like, hey yo, we got a shipment of 100 bottles of baby oil coming your way right now.
Yeah, just get those ready. We'll come talk to you with those, come meet us at the Hilton. And I'm just like, man.
So how bad you want this to pop off? How bad you want this book deal?
We already got Channing Tatum as Dr. Marcus. I was like, but
I don't want to do that.
What price comes with that? It's just like that. The timing of him telling me that was kind of crazy. But you just never know. Speaking of which, I mean, it's starting to be about a couple hours in on the low. We started a little bit late. Yeah. Shoutouts, just cutting up, shoutouts. So what y'all got? Who y'all got?
Well, I can start off. Dennis, bro, I'm shouting you out, man. Got the short novel. Fractured Mind is going crazy. I put on a couple people at bar have been inquiring about it. So congrats on that, man. I know you was talking about, hey, I have this idea. I'm putting it in paper. I'm typing it out. Now I need to find a tool to try to, actually, put it, my thoughts on paper So I'm glad you was able to actually, complete it, finish your thought, and then, creating a sequel. So shout out to you, man. So continue to make these different ones, what I'm saying, especially picking up traction. Take the feedback, it might be some criticism in there, but take it back, and utilize that in the future as well. So you might have a second passive income right there with the book. So
trying to figure something out. That's number also,
right.
Thinking that way as well, for sure. Yeah, man.
I know you got that business
man.
mindset for sure.
GSD, get shit done, man. Every time you think of something, start doing it. That's
be a doer.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think of who I should have besides the song, because I already have kind of the song I want for the end. But man, big shout outs to my little brother, Waylon Williams, aka Pablo Fresco, his rap name. He's back. He's out. He's finally served his time, so he's out now. I'm just happy to see my brother on this side of the gates, so shout him out. Be looking for new music. Be looking for new projects. I'm about to start DJ Khaled and my family more. I was already starting on that with Matt before his passing. And so now I'm like, all right, y'all, you need to do a song with him and y'all need to do it like this. Here go the beat, so I'm working on certain things with that. So big shout outs to him. Be on the lookout for his stuff. I've shouted him out before, but he's back.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
But yeah, Kyle, who you got?
Who you got, Kyle?
Man, I didn't even know I was doing a shout out, but I got one ready. It's a good week for this. Shout out my little cousin, Carson Kim. He's started the football season as a wide receiver for varsity. And on the first week, I think it was the first week, maybe it was the second week, he got the play of the whole week of the whole greater Syracuse area. He caught like a 67-yard touchdown, zipped through the whole defense, juked, sprinted. So shout out my boy Carson.
Oh man,
shout out to Carson, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Athlete.
Yeah, I don't know where I missed all that, man. I was just a straight line sprinter and jumper. Man, I guess the rest of the athleticism and coordination skipped me,
Okay.
But he do have, we ain't talk about his basketball skills. He does have this hook shot that is absolutely deadly. I have not seen anybody shoot as many hook shots in one game as Kyle. He has cooked me with it many a times. Probably cooked the others. We definitely have to get some footage of that.
One of my best friends, the reason I do it, one of my best friends is 6'6", like 220. Like I'm talking a muscular bodybuilder 220 at 6'6". And he was a lineman and stuff before, and I'd play one-on-one with him all the time, go to the Y and stuff, and I just could not, like his length and strength, I could not compete. Jamal knows I don't got the handles like that, man. So I had to start doing them baby hooks and Kareem moves, and I got practice. So I got practice.
He lethal with it for real.
That makes sense. Oh man, yeah. Dang, man, you're about to make me have to go down to Georgia for a little bit. Let's get some hooping in and all.
Come on.
Okay. Yeah, man. This was a fun episode.
Yes, man. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. It's been fun.
Open invite, man. Whenever you want to come back, talk stuff about whatever, especially once the season gets going, we definitely got to talk. Already said, I already knew what it was. I don't know why. Yesterday while we were playing Smash, I was listening to music, listening to like some of my cousins, and of course, I'm gonna end this one with "Choose One" by Mavenue. Long live Mavenue. Man, I just know he would be like extra hype about like this book and all this type of stuff. I got him in the dedication in it, but I'm still kind of mad we never got him on because of how funny and how silly he is about everything. I heart Laker fans. Most of my family are Laker fans, and everybody got to deal with it. But yeah, man, choose one. So whether we chat like bros or I debate you like an enemy, it's all fun and games. Just match my energy.
And we gone.
Take your pick. Shout out all my niggas by the water. It's either gonna be you or this blunt. Choose one. Fuck you think you talking like? It's called rage. It's a feeling that I get where you try to flip script like a page. Many nights, many days. Feeling boxed in like a cage. Shit, it really do pour when it rain. I turned another page. Any little thing strike a match, I'm a log taking baths in the lighter fluid. You said I can't, well you just adding fire to it. And I'ma knock 'em out the park and still ball, if Mike could do it. You know how the north side do it. A town nigga for real, play the tape and just ride to it. Used to call me Stone Hands, but since the tape dropped, everybody Odell catching vibes to it. My anger is danger, and it's quick fast. It's like I caught a whiplash out at Six Flags. I'm paralyzed in the mind like quicksand. But your bitch bad, I'll take her from your bitch ass. Gucci flip-flops, nigga work boots. So go ahead and hurry up, cause I got work, boo. Smoking gas and plotting on buying turf, fool. Perfume? No, that's the perf, fool. Look, and it's either gonna be you or this blunt. Choose one. Look, and it's either gonna be you or this blunt. Yeah. It's either gonna be you or this blunt, choose one. You either gon' lose or you up, choose one. You either make a move or you done, choose one. Young nigga done with school, so what's up? But shout out to the young dudes on the hunt. You smell something better and you tryna make it lunch. I'm a maid nigga, I ain't never made it up, man. She told me stop playing and she said make it rough. I came up tough, these other motherfuckers got the game fucked up. I see you making efforts, but the lane stuffed up like the game stuffed up. Smarted up while I'm hogging my lane like a bus. It's all fun and games till the devil come out. My energy high as fuck, I never run out. But shit, waiting till them real steppers come out. This heat rock that I got make the sun run out. Cause the real hot dogs make the buns come out. Niggas jealous, probably why the guns come out. Cause it's an art, but I'ma play my part. Cause I'm sharp like a dart, hella smart, but I still dumb out.